So my history in digital transformation in local government goes back 36 years, where I was first in as an accountant into a small local council. Watching at that point, we had computer systems for just keying in information to help make manual processes simpler. Everybody had a PC on the desk where they really started to type their own letters and do everything themselves, to today where it's absolutely fundamental to the way we do business. And I think a really important point around that is the focus nowadays on what do the customers use? What do our users? What's their lifestyle? How do we start to build services that suit the lifestyle of our customers? Okay, our focus has been very much around delivering services. We've now got an environment where savings are massive, the sorts of savings. So how do we change the way we do things whilst the expectation is on much more improved services, customer services, delivery from you and ourselves. When we deal with organisations, you really want to have things simple. And councils are very complex organisations. How do we simplify that? So that's the journey we're on, and the new technology that's now available, making lots of exciting opportunities going forwards to see where the next big step forwards is. So private sector and public sector working together to deliver change is a real challenge. Private sector very keen on that, obviously, because that's their livelihood. Public sector around how do we do that most effectively. So the changes are, to me, really fundamental, twofold, are around how do we really take significant amounts of budget out of the organisation whilst delivering improved service. So looking at lots of partnerships where perhaps the council can no longer afford to deliver a service, and looking to the private sector perhaps to provide that. Looking at different revenue models around how you pay for those services as well. Quite a challenge where perhaps lots of services previously were paid for out of capital, which is funding they get, now to a much more of a revenue model. So suddenly that's changing as the whole funding model. So that provides challenges. Hopefully the private sector can help with that. From an IT perspective, the biggest change seeing around is the whole sort of delivery model. So large organisations used to provide lots of data centres, so lots of technology for people to get excited with. A lot of that now existed out in the cloud, seeing a big move of that. So that's really sensible, really real reduction in risk from the organisation of having to provide that service to deliver that, to make that someone else's responsibility and we pay for that service. Biggest is based around budgets. So significant budget cuts taking place. And how do we really deal with that in an effective way that we can still deliver services that are satisfactory to the customers when they want even better services. Their expectation of dealing with Amazons and the banks, it's all online, it's all instant. How do we reproduce that type of service at a time when people are exiting the building because the savings are generally people, because that's always been the easy savings, and like to see much more blend around how do we look at the processes that we've had in the organisation for a long time and actually drive the value out through that first rather than getting rid of a lot of people. So that's a real challenge going forwards, but it is fundamentally how do we make the books balance around expectation of better services, but with a climate where the funding is so significantly reduced. Yeah, so the elder generation are a real challenge at the moment because people get very excited about technology and what we can do, and the younger generation use that all the time. They're on their apps all day long, bumping into lampposts they don't see. But you know, we've got to be able to cater for all the generations, and the elder generation are ones that are quite happy to use technology. You see lots of examples of that technology. Have they got that available to them? Is that have to be provided through the council helping with deliver that service through technology and making things better that way? But definitely it's something to be borne in mind when designing a service of all your different end users. Too easy where we see a process redesign and IT will get hold of it and create the really latest technology, reliant on the technology, and then gone, oh yeah, we forgot the customers. So really important to redesign anything around all the customer base and make sure we've got all of the best ways of getting them. So that may be technology based, or it may be someone providing a service using the latest technology to help that customer. But it's getting the right blend for the right people.